Hey, how's it going? Screen Thumb. I'm getting a tan. Sitting right underneath the lights. So we're in the greenhouse. I'm working on my tan, and while I'm working on my tan, we're gonna trellis some zucchini. Not many people have done this. It's mostly it's a European thing, from what I can find. I've only ever seen it done in videos from Europe. So I don't know why. Maybe it's because they have smaller yards there. They have different growing styles over there as it is. So maybe that's why it's not really done here, much to my knowledge. But so the reason I'm going to trellis the zucchini, you'll see them. They're right behind the camera. They're right down there. So I have two zucchini growing in this pot. And if I just kind of let them both grow together in this one pot, it's going to be this massive green jungle, right? And there's not going to be a whole lot of airflow. So I'm also going to have to pollinate these myself, right? Because there's no pollinators in my greenhouse. So I'm going to get a really fine, a fine tipped paintbrush, and I'm going to pollinate my own zucchini so I can kind of keep it producing. But that's a whole other thing for, well, for a couple of weeks yet, because I already have flower nodules starting on the zucchini, and I started them from seed January 8th. So these things are rocking. Anyhow, so I'm going to turn this camera around. You guys are going to see what I'm talking about. I have two, give or take, 5-foot long wooden stakes that I'm going to use. And so if you've never grown zucchini, it comes out of the ground and it grows like a big fat vine that kind of trails along the ground. It can be a couple of feet long sometimes, depending on the strain. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put each stake at the edge of the pot, and I'm going to put them up on an angle so they're away from each other. And I'm also going to lean them against that wall because I'm going to have trellis netting on that wall to espalier the tomatoes onto. So, so essentially the wall is going to support the top of the stakes, so when these plants get big, they're not going to fall over. Once I get the trellis netting up, all I have to do is tie the tips of the stakes till there's trellis netting, and then they're just not going to fall down, and it'll be supported by the trellis netting. And in the meantime, while these things grow, it'll just be supported by the wall. So you guys want to see what's going on? Let's flip this thing around. So we've got our zucchini pushed back against the wall. So here's our two plants, 1 and 2, okay. Here's the vine, right there, one side and 2 sides. And if you guys look in the center, let's move this camera up here. Oh, can I get this in frame? There we go. Oh, that's maxed out. Look, you can already see, if I get my hands in here, right? We're already starting to develop male and female flowers up in here. So same on the other side here. I don't know if we can get this from this angle. No, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, there's one. See? Starting there. So what we're going to do is, we've got our stakes. I'm going to go get them. We're going to put a stake in here behind that vine. I'm going to put one here. And then we are going to start tying that vine up to the stake. And then as it grows, they're going to grow up the stake. I'll just keep tying them up the stake as they grow. And let's see how that goes. Let's see here. All right, hold on a sec. Gotta reset the camera. I'm literally surrounded by plants. I had to push everything out of the way in the greenhouse to get this done. And I'm still working on my tan sitting under the light. There we go. Reset the camera a little bit. Okay, so we're going to... Oh my Lord. It's a frickin' jungle in here! So we're going to take the first stake, going to raise up that vine, and we're going to drive that stake down the edge of the pot, because that edge of the pot is also going to support that stake. All right, we got one. Time for number two. Sorry, coming through, excuse me, sorry. And do the same here. Drive this in, follow the pot down, tip it towards the wall. Okay. So we got two. Let's see if we can. All right, so good? Okay. Cool. See if we can get this centered back on here, the plant. Come on. There we go. Okay, now. Get out the old Leatherman, Gerber multi-tool, and we are going to start cutting pieces of, so I am using baler twine, because I've got rolls of this stuff and it's easy to work with, and I can just keep cutting and modifying as needed. I'm not too worried about running out or using too much. And let's get some cut here. All right. Let's see what happens. All right, so now what we're gonna do, can you guys see? There, how's that? Good? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our twine. I've cut about 10 inches, and we're just essentially just gonna start by redirecting the vine back towards this stake. But first, we're going to remove that. So that's the cotyledon. That's the very first leaf that the plant grew. So we don't even need that anymore. So we're just going to put it behind the vine, behind the stake, and we're going to tie a knot, left over right, right over left. Done. So this is going to be a multi-step process, right? Because we can only tie so much as it grows. But you always have to start somewhere. So this is where we're starting. So can you guys see that in the camera where I've tied it? There we go. See it down there? So we've tied the vine. All these leaves are in the way. There. So we've tied the vine to the stake. We've moved some of the leaves to the back side of the stake. And then it's going to open this all up. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Now, another thing that I'm going to do is I'm not going to let the plant on the right grow into the plant on the left. Sorry, I'm not going to let the plant on the left grow into the plant on the right, and vice versa. So you see this great big leaf here? That's growing right over top of the other plant. So we are going to just remove that, and then we're going to push the growth out to the left, and we're going to push the growth out to the right. And one of the next things that's coming in here is going to be an oscillating fan, because you need to have air movement with your plants. That's key. And air movement is also going to strengthen all of the stems for all of these plants. We don't want them getting too weak, right? So again, we're going to pull that vine to the stake, left over right, right over left. There we go, done. Can we do another one? No, we can't do another one yet. But you know what? This thing is growing so fast that within a matter of days, we're going to be able to retie it. So now we're going to take our Gerber multi-tool. We're going to come in here. We're going to find this great big leaf that's cutting into the other plant's personal space. And then see this one here? We're going to take that out because that's cutting into the other, the other plant's personal space. See? And then another thing that's going to do is that's going to let light from the big light right over top of my head get right down into the center here. And because I've moved it all over, everything now will just, all these leaves that are kind of pointing down like this one down in the soil, over the course of today, they'll just start bending back up towards the light. So, all right. So the beginning of the process has started. We are going to trellis that zucchini. We are going to grow all kinds of zucchini out of it. And yeah, I mean, you see how big this thing is? It's only February 3rd today, 4th today. So this thing hasn't even been growing for a month from seed. And yeah, so it looks like we're going to have lots of zucchini to eat. So I need to actually get out there and buy one of those little tiny paintbrushes so I can get ready to start pollinating this. It's probably going to throw out a whole bunch of males at first and no females, because sometimes zucchini will do that. Cucumbers will do that too sometimes. So we'll see, but I need to be ready so that when it does start to have male and female flowers, I can just pollinate it. Or, you know, I could just get a whole bunch of bees and put some bees in here, but, you know, probably not so good because I just got tested for bee and wasp allergies and found out I need to get myself EpiPens now. Awesome. Yay. So we are, and as you can see, guys, we also have sticky traps. Get off. I do not have the fungus gnat problem under control. The fungus gnats are raising holy hell in here. And so what I've done is I have ordered mosquito dunks off of Amazon. And we are going to soak everything down with mosquito dunks. And I'm considering also buying nematodes. But from what I've read, the nematodes, they work great. Except for last year, you could get about 8 times as many for half the price. So it's like $25 for nematodes. I'm not sure if I want to go that route because I can get 12 mosquito dunks for $33, and each mosquito dunk I can use multiple times. Whereby with the nematodes, it's a one-shot deal, and if the soil dries out, the nematodes die. So we are going to get some mosquito dunks, and we're just going to start watering. And I've also started putting in sticky traps all over the place here. And I have some really big ones. They're like, 6 inches by 8 inches. We're just going to start hanging big sticky traps everywhere. Because I am not even remotely exaggerating. Check this out. Yeah. Fungus, gnats, everywhere. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for this video. Hope you like it. Have a great day. Grow good food. Hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and leave me a comment. Tell me if you think this is going to work, okay? Have a good one. See ya.